everybody, and welcome to the broadcast with Amanda, Shandy, and Colleen. My name is Colleen.
My name is Amanda.
And I'm Shandy.
Welcome to the show, everybody. This is season 7, episode 36. We're in the home stretch of season 7.
Wow.
Not much to go. I guess 10, including this one. Crazy.
Yeah.
Very much so.
This is our 306th episode that we are kind of, whatever. Anyway, whatever the word is. I'm very tired. It's been a long day. Speaking of long days, did anything interesting happen today? I was very busy. I barely got to do anything.
I don't think there were any big events. No,
nothing big happened on April
big.
4th, 2023.
No.
No,
Not sure.
Some helicopters flew very low to my apartment building, but other than that, that's really all I have to report.
Oh, I wonder why. So strange.
I wonder why.
New
So
York.
interesting. Did anybody get arraigned or?
I didn't. I don't know about you
Yes,
guys.
not me. Not me. I'm a law-abiding citizen.
Yep.
I don't have enough money to pay people off, even if I did.
Right.
Oh man.
Whether it be for an affair or a
I will-
child or anything. Yeah.
I will never be that wealthy, but my goal someday is to pay people off rich.
Yeah.
That's it.
To have $130,000 to pay someone.
Yeah.
Just to have that much money on my person at any given time would be
At any given time.
Although, how pissed would you be if you paid somebody that much money and then ended
that's
up
like
getting
nothing to
arraigned
him.
for it?
Well, that's for most of us, that's the price you pay. It's the chance you take.
It's a chance you take, yeah. You try to silence someone, and then the whole world knows all of a sudden. That didn't work.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be
Maybe
fair,
just
when you're literally tweeting and truthing crimes on a daily basis,
It's true.
and
true.
using your little pathetic MAGA Nazi rallies too.
Moral of the story.
Yeah.
Don't break laws and don't be an asshole.
Somebody the other day was like, the day that the indictment came down, somebody was like, "Wow, who would have thought that tweeting out hundreds of crimes over the course of 5 years would end up with an indictment at some point?"
Who could have ever predicted that?
And that's not even the good ones. This is like the soap opera one. The ones we're waiting for are
Oh yeah.
the Mar-a-Lago documents,
Mhm.
aka the classified documents he stole,
Mm-hmm.
the election interference case in Georgia. Super excited for that one.
Yeah.
Not great.
Mhm.
Not great. Lordy. Okay, so Stormy Daniels today actually, because I guess, MAGA base was all over her, and she's fantastic on Twitter. She does not, if she lets things get to her, she does not show it, ever
Nice.
publicly. So she tweeted, "Y'all keep saying cum dumpster like it's a bad thing. Laughing my ass off emoji. It's definitely more fun being under my sexy man instead of being under arrest."
That was a good one. I do have to say, why do we, and this is honestly everyone, it's not even just the right-wing media. Why do we always have to preface her name with her former profession? It's kind of fucking weird. Does it matter if he would have paid hush money to former doctor Stormy Daniels? Would people be saying,
doormen for covering up his secret abortions?
Right.
I mean,
yeah. But it's okay, people. I understand that it's more salacious that she's a former porn star, but
what I think
it's kind of really sexist bullshit to always be saying.
It's we get it.
Yeah. I think it doesn't bother her. So more of
hopefully not. I mean,
free license.
Yeah.
It doesn't though, because I follow her on Twitter and she seems very, like I said, if things bother her, she does not show it publicly. But she understands how to not let bullies win is by not showing them. You got you. But she seems okay with it. B, the Ron DeSantis statement originally was well, I don't know what it's like the details that go into paying a porn star for money. I don't even know how to do his voice. I don't know what, he's just got that monotonous robot voice. Also horrible human being.
Not even worth
it.
Trying.
So maybe. Yeah. But anyway, so he kind of did that as a dig. And I don't know, but on Crooked Media, they generally refer to it as adult entertainment star because she's also a director now too.
Okay, no, and And that's fine. I'm just wondering, like, if she was a former custodian, a former doctor, a former, I don't know,
I think so,
whatever.
because it adds context to the story, and when you're adding words,
Mm.
when you're adding words in.
I think it's because she's a former porn star.
Yeah.
Well, you
And
know,
at
I
a
guess
certain
that's
point,
fine.
it's like, do we need to keep her reiterating it? Like
Exactly.
we've all
we
got
it.
You
I
hear,
think
We
it twists
you
the
hear the
knife.
name Stormy Daniels,
Yeah.
and we know we all know who we're talking.
The evangelicals and all the like prudes out
Yeah.
there to be like, remember,
Yes, there's a
he
bit
didn't
of
pay
that.
off a custodian. He paid off a woman he had sex with, and he had sex with her because she caught his
Well, right,
attention.
but you can
because she was
have
a porn
again.
actress.
You can have sex with a former custodian.
You
Right.
can,
If
but
you're both
Jesus,
consenting.
Right.
according to them, Jesus would never be caught doing that.
Wow. Jesus, famous virgin.
Yeah.
Famous Virgin Jesus. The next court appearance is not until December 4th, which
I
is
saw
also
that.
insane
I
because
did
there
not
were
see that.
plenty of people on Twitter who are actually like public defenders, like Eliza from Survivor, who were like, dude, for it to be postponed, like, what is that, 8 months out? That's crazy.
very,
A lot
very,
of times
very, very
people
long.
people go to court and they have to go like month after month, and it just keeps getting pushed back. So he's already getting preferential treatment.
Oh yeah.
Mhm. But my favorite thing is all the bars that were having all day happy hours today, saying when it arraigns, it pours, P-O-U-R-S. When it arraigns, it pours.
Oh my god, I love that so much.
Oh man, if I left my house more often.
It's a raining ex-presidents.
Yeah. Hallelujah.
Oh, so good.
It was Jimmy Kimmel Live had a tweet of like Jared looking like set like Jared,
Yeah.
but like not smug Jared, more like I'm an idiot, like wide-eyed dumb Jared. And it was like, when all your dads get arrested. Anyway, woohoo! What a day! Cheers,
What a day.
ladies.
Cheers. Yeah.
Sure.
I understand this is the beginning of a very long process, and that motherfucker may die before it even happens. I mean, we're in a long process here.
Yeah.
But,
It
and I don't
doesn't take
mean
very-
that like
and
in
he's
a,
not
in
in good health.
Yes, I don't mean that in like I wish him well way. I'm just saying like more indictments come out. You know, there's only so many bottles of ketchup he can throw against the wall and plates that he can break before an accident happens.
Oh my gosh.
I forget if it was an article I was reading or somebody, like a comment or a podcast or a tweet, but somebody was like, he can't go to jail. What will happen to his hair? And that made me laugh.
Those terrible tan lines, you know, they don't just
Oh my
happen
God.
naturally.
I love that so much.
His hair didn't look great today.
Seriously. Oh my god.
I mean, does
this
it ever?
No, this blew
real.
my brain apart. That's like, you think he looks bad now. Wait till that
He was
spray
pissed.
Yeah, wait till that spray tan and the whatever
Yeah,
is
oh
happening
God.
on top of his head
Yeah.
can't be touched up.
Oh God, yeah. No, I will say like he
he's
he's trying to play it off as like, I think all the Republicans are trying to play it off as like, this is gonna be great for fundraising and stick it to them.
He raised
he was
$4 million since
Well,
the
sure.
indictment.
Sure.
I
$4
heard it
million.
was closer to 5 or 6.
Oh, is it? Okay. Well, I am not. I don't have the most recent data, so 5
I
or
mean,
6 could be it.
don't quote me.
I
either.
know
I'm
that they said-
I'm
historically
sure it'll
bad
be
with
more by the
numbers.
time this comes out.
Literally,
But-
they were selling
but
like
he was
Photoshop
not
shirts
happy.
with like a mocked up like mugshot. They were charging.
I heard he wanted a mugshot, and they
Yeah.
were like, "You're not getting a mugshot." And
Yeah.
everybody else wanted him to get a mugshot because they were all like,
This
"We're
is
gonna
what
sell the
unites
fuck
the
out of
right
that
and the
mugshot."
left. Yes.
Yep.
A Trump
No,
mugshot.
the left wanted to do it too.
That's what I'm saying. This is what unites us.
Yeah, we were
found
united
something.
by Donald Trump's
We found
mugshot.
common ground.
We all wanted the mugshot. But I'm
See,
just
you
saying,
know,
even though they're trying to play it off like this, he is not happy. And he would much rather this not be happening to him. But you know what? You pay people off and
You break the law.
Break the law. You
34 felonies.
You
Zero
break the
misdemeanors.
law. You occasionally have to face consequences.
Well, I
Maybe
mean,
occasionally if you're
generally,
rich,
I
but-
mean, he's had a pretty good track record thus
He's-
far.
yeah.
He's made it, what, 40 years without
76 years.
Yeah. Right.
Don't forget,
his whole professional life without any consequences for his illegal activity. So
don't forget when he was 2 years old or whatever, weren't his parents paying him a salary to get out of tax stuff
God,
back
probably.
then? So he's
Oh my
really,
gosh.
Rich people are so gross.
I had not heard that, but that doesn't surprise me.
It was in, I don't know if 2 is the right age, but it was when he was a kid and his parents were like, it was in that New York Times big tax article.
His dad.
His dad, yes.
Sounds like
it was in that big New York Times expose that went like nowhere because it was buried, but like there's a lot of interesting shit in that.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, good times. Oh my god. Let's see. What else? 34 felonies. So spectacular. And it wasn't even the crime, it was the cover-up. The whole fact that
you know what it often
hey,
is.
you know what finally got Al Capone in jail?
Yeah.
I believe it was tax evasion.
It was tax
evasion. Whatever gets the job done.
We'll go through anything to not pay taxes, which is fucking disgusting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rich people will do anything to not contribute to society.
Right. They just want to take from society. But it's not fair when somebody makes them have to pay their
everybody
fair
else
share.
the handout.
Yeah.
I worked very hard for my ill-begotten gains.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never forget the Elizabeth Warren speech where from 10 years ago at this point, 12, 15 years ago, where she's like, look, if you're a billionaire or even a multimillionaire and it wasn't inherited, you didn't get there on your own. You had employees. Those employees rode the subways and the buses and drove on roads to get to work for you. They did this and they did that. And all of those things have to be funded by the government, which is why you pay your taxes to put it back in.
Yeah.
So people can continue to use those things.
Just common sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we could have had a bad bitch, but whatever.
Persist responsibly nonetheless.
Yes.
Persist responsibly. Even though my beer mug broke and I tried to glue it, it just didn't work.
Mine has a solid chip in it too, but I can't get rid of it. It still sits in the cupboard.
I had to because it was just totally broken. It was my favorite mug that whole year and a half, 2 years I had it. I was devastated when I finally had to call it. I searched on eBay. I was like, I will take somebody's used Persist Responsibly Elizabeth Warren mug. Nada. Oh my god. Anyway, I realized that really nothing may come of this overall, but I'm gonna take the moment.
Exactly. Let's enjoy this. Soak it all up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The left gets very few wins. I mean, because we're not loud enough to enjoy them when we do.
Right.
That's what it is.
God damn these morals.
But yeah, so the thing that we referred to at the beginning of this, I'm sure by the time this comes out, all the dirty details will be out there. But the charges, one of the 34 counts, alleges that in or about October or November of 2015, the owner of the National Enquirer, David Peck, this was part of that whole catch and kill thing that Ronan Farrow was, very big hand in exposing. He learned that a former Trump Tower doorman was trying to sell information regarding a child that Trump had allegedly fathered out of wedlock. They agreed to pay him $30,000 to acquire the exclusive rights, and then they obviously killed the story. Essentially, one of the big things with this is they bought the rights to the story, but they never even actually investigated whether or not it was true. So, it was literally just a catch and kill scheme. Super interested on that, days of my former presidents. Yes, I said former presidents, which on Ted Lasso this past week, there was a character that did a Trump impression and Ted responds with, "Oh, hey, Mr. Former President," which might seem like an innocuous, comment, but there's 40% of this country that believes that Trump is still the rightful president. So I thought that was really funny.
Maybe I'm an episode behind. I don't remember that joke. When did they drop new episodes?
Wednesdays, yes.
And what is it on again? What streaming platform?
Apple TV Plus.
Fuck. Okay, I need to get that.
It's very good. There's a character this season named Shandy.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, she's a new character. She's one of Keely's friends, or not. Yeah, And her name is Shandy. She's been in every episode so far.
Yep.
This is literally the first time in my life that's ever happened, and I don't know how much I like it.
Well, she's very different from you. If it makes you feel any better.
Yes.
Same name though. I will say this is very strange. I went to basically like the computer lab the other day, and you have to sign in, and there was exactly one person who had signed in before me, and that person's name was Shandy.
Really?
Spelled Shandee. And I just I paused and I looked at it, and I slowly filled out my information, and then I kind of looked around, and then I looked at it, and then they're like the person sitting at the desk. I had to tell someone. I was like, hey, so the person who signed in before me, I have an unusual name. Her name is Shandy. It's the same name. And she was kind of like, oh, interesting.
Cool. I was like, cool.
That's kind of how
weird.
That's kind of like how I felt That's kind of like how I felt during that one episode of Superstore where Colleen was the bad guy character, but she was never actually seen on screen. She was just always mentioned, and she did CLEs, which at the time was what I did. So I was.
That's right.
I mean, I got a lot of mileage out of that screen cap I took. I was tickled.
But literally, nobody ever has my name, and now the person. See, I never met this person. I know she's out here somewhere. She exists, but there's a character on TV. It's gonna get popularized. Oh, I don't know. Anyway,
well,
interesting.
Lucky for you, the people will be popularized. Well, those children will be 40 years younger than you.
Yeah. There's that.
So you're going to be an old Shandy.
Yep.
That's wild, though.
Yeah.
That's just crazy. Okay, blows my mind. I haven't started watching it yet at all, and I need to get on that. But how many episodes are out?
3.
Of maybe 10? 8?
I think it's 10.
Okay.
But because it's the last season, they're not a half hour. Season? So it's supposed to be the last season. They had said that if they did continue, it would be in a spin-off form.
Interesting.
Oh, I thought we had one more season before the last season.
No, this is the last season. That's why the episodes went from 30 minutes to that 47 minutes. Because they're trying to pack in everything.
Longer, didn't it?
Yeah. Like any good. This was an American TV show, but British TV show, they know short and sweet.
Yeah, they know when to go out. They they don't ride the train until all the wheels fall off. They
exactly.
There's no grace. There's
with the exception, what is it? Is it EastEnders? What's the long-standing?
Yeah, EastEnders is a soap opera though, so I feel like that's a little different. Soap operas are sort of built to just live on indefinitely.
That is true. But there's no Grey's Anatomy in. I don't understand how it's still on, but you know what? Survivor's still on, and I watch that, so whatever.
That's fair.
Jeff Probst is almost at retirement age himself, so
yeah,
also wild. Anyway, any last thoughts on the Trump thing? Otherwise, we can move on.
I just hope I hope justice is served.
Yeah. Finally.
Yeah.
Me too. Don't forget, if justice isn't served here, we've got 2 more chances at least.
Yeah, but if it's not served here, it makes the other 2 much harder.
It does, but also you're going to have the governor and the state's was he the attorney, Secretary of State of the Rafflesburg or whatever his name is? You're going to have actual not like Michael Cohen, but people that Georgia overwhelmingly trust because they overwhelmingly reelected those people.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling a little nervous and pessimistic about it all, I guess.
I know. Every time you think life is great, it also then takes a nosedive, or so it seems. But for the moment, that motherfucker finally got indicted. So whatever.
Yep.
Awesome. Anyway, Shandy and I saw the RHAP live thing last week. We had Flat Amanda with us.
Hooray, she looked just like me.
I drew her on my knee in a bar. We took a picture circa midnight.
Love it.
It looked very much like you.
I thought so
curly
too.
Hair.
Just like me. Beautiful rendering.
Thank you. I meant to put it on our Instagram page, but then I was really fucking hungover the next day. And didn't. You know what it was? It was because I got 3 hours of sleep.
Yeah, that's a killer. That'll do it.
I ate in the morning. I had like some avocado toast when I woke up. I usually have one slice. I had 2 very healthy slices. Felt okay. And then, this is gross, but like, around 10 o'clock, I finally had one of those like post-drinking poops. And the emptying
best.
of my stomach, all of a sudden I was like, holy shit, I don't feel good. Like, I thought that was going to make me feel great, but now my tummy is empty and I feel like shaky and terrible. So about 11:30, I went up to Chick-fil-A, which, yes, I know Chick-fil-A, but it's the closest, easiest thing to me. Got a sandwich, came home, smelt it, and was like, I'm going to throw up. I cannot do this.
No.
I did not end up throwing up. I actually ended up laying down for an hour and 15 minutes. And I think I dozed in and out because I just kind of laid there very still. And when I got up, it was like a switch like flipped. I was fine. I was a totally different person. So I think that my body just didn't have enough time to process
it all.
I mean, we started drinking during Survivor episode itself at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we continued to drink until last call at 1:45.
I know. The last beer that I got, I had like 2 or 3 sips of it and was like, why did I get this? And we gave it to Jam Jam? Did we give it to Jam Jam or did we give it to somebody else?
Who did we give it to?
We gave it to somebody. Anyway. I was like,
remember.
I do that sometimes. And I feel like the difference between my 20s would be like,
I do the
I
same
have
thing.
to finish this drink. And now I'm like, oh, I got this. It was a waste of money. That's unfortunate. But mostly I just don't want to drink it. And so I'm not going to.
I do the same thing. And I'm like, I don't have a problem with a wounded soldier now. I'm like, you know what? I'm good.
No.
I don't know why I did this. This was a mistake.
Yeah.
I don't really go out very much anymore. But like, even if we're like at a restaurant and like, because generally beer makes me full. So if I get like a second beer and then the food comes, I like have this like choice. I'm like, do I suck up the, chug the beer that I drank, or do I just eat? And, I generally don't want it after I'm eating because, I'm full, also double full. Anyway, whatever. This is an old person problem. Middle-aged person problem. But, I'll be like, all right, I'll leave that. That's just an example off the top of my head. Last night we had a college basketball game. So my kids are tracked out. So they're in New York with my parents. I had 2 beers when we went to the movies And then when we came home, I made a drink for Jay because he doesn't drink beer at the movies and they don't do liquor at the movies. I made a drink for Jay, and then I ended up at like 10 o'clock because the game started at 9:20. I was like, I'll have another drink. And I got like probably halfway through it, and I was like, I had 2 beers. I don't really want this drink, and I just left it. And then I, came out this morning, and I was like, oh, there's a full glass of melted vodka and LaCroix out there, but. So yeah, there we go. That's a better example of what we're talking about. Totally forgot that happened, and that wasn't because I was drunk. Just because
didn't want it.
Just don't want it.
Yeah, I didn't want it. I was like, whatever. I'll take the hit.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was really weird though. Just like laying down for that hour and 15 minutes, and then I got up and I was like, I was brand new. It was like
Colleen has risen. She's
it was
risen
so
indeed.
weird. It was so weird. But at least I realized I was like, I have a limit. Although, in our defense, Shandy and I were going to leave at 1 o'clock. And then, so Elena left a little after 1. And that's when Shandy was like, oh shit, we should go home too. It's after 1. It's like 1:05. We called the Uber. The Uber got within 2 minutes of us as we were standing by the door waiting for it. And then it reset to be a half an hour later.
I feel like that's new Uber.
Yeah,
that happened to me once when I was like supposed to get to the airport.
Oh,
and it's like, don't fuck with me because either you're 5 minutes away or I'm going to call somebody else. But don't like string me along because in a half an hour, I'm going to miss my flight. So
Jay told me that now most likely the driver abandoned us and we had to wait for a new one.
That's possible.
And he was like, well, they can see now if you tip or don't tip. So if you don't
tip
Uber, then they probably were like, oh, I've got this new fare that's close by who does tip.
First of all, I always tip, even though it makes me angry. Second of all, because they put like whatever. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But I systematically tip
Yeah.
those assholes. But I also didn't know that they could see whether or not you tip.
That's what Jay said. So
Ugh.
Or if they could see that someone else in the area was going a further distance, so it was going to be
Yeah.
it was going to be more. And
it was gonna they were going to make more money off of it.
Yeah. So he said that they probably, especially because we saw on your app that they were in downtown Raleigh. They were close to us. And then all of a sudden it switched. So we were going to be home by 1:30. And then we went to bed at 2:45 a.m. And then I woke up at 7 with my children. And it
Still
sucked
got
really
it.
hard.
Still got it.
I didn't have it though. I was like, why? Why did I do this to myself? Oh my god. Yeah, good times. But it was still fun.
Super fun.
Yeah.
Super,
if they ever
super
did
fun.
it again, I would go.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Good times. Tomorrow night, aka 2 days ago, as you're listening to this, or more, we are finally doing our pandemic show makeup of Les Miserables. And I am so fucking excited.
Nice.
You may or may not recall.
No, or for some of us that just never knew at all. Please explain.
Okay, so the night that everything closed down in Raleigh, Jay and I had tickets to go see Les Mis.
Oh, right. I remember now. Keep talking.
Yeah. We had dinner plans. We were going to go. We had heard that the Saturday night showing had already canceled because my boss had, at the time, she had tickets to the Saturday show and she had told me that day that hers got canceled. I was like, well, I think they're waiting it out to see how far they can go because ours aren't canceled. We get there, we park in the parking deck outside of DPAC, and we got the notice then that the show was canceled.
Oh, no way.
So we ended up going to dinner at this incredibly stupidly overpriced Italian restaurant that it was one of those things that charged you way too much. It had good hype from like Jay's coworkers at the time. So that's why we went. And because, Jay routinely works with people that are much younger than him. And I don't know, they have terrible taste all the time, I've noticed. But like, they were like, gotta go to this place. They've got this like truffle seasoning and it's like the best. And they put it on. Blah, 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 blah. So, we were like, if I would go there. And it was so fucking overpriced for like portions that were smaller than my fist. Like it was so stupid. Anyway, so we went into that, blah, 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 blah. And then we went to see a Vin Diesel movie that was so terrible that because we were like, well, we've got a babysitter, aka Jay's parents. Until midnight, so we might as well do something else. So we went to see a movie, and that was the last movie we saw before everything closed down. It was, I can't even remember, it was some terrible Vin Diesel movie, and yeah, good times. However, they are finally coming back to Raleigh this week,
Nice.
and we are going. I'm so excited to cry at Les Mis over and over again.
Nice.
So, is it the revival version? Is it the version without the revolve?
Whoa. The revival version doesn't have the revolve?
Yeah, it doesn't. The most recent version that was on Broadway, they like reimagined it and they took the revolve out. Yeah. You should check and see if that's the version. I mean, it was still good. It was just like, it was very much not the same. It was just like a very different staging.
No. Why do you mess with something that's perfect?
Because, everybody wants to put their stamp and reinvent things. I mean, they could do it for Oklahoma, so everyone thinks they can do it for everything.
Oh, fuck you guys.
I mean, I didn't do it.
I know. The Watchmen did more for Oklahoma than Oklahoma did for Oklahoma.
To be fair, I did want to go see the St. Anne's revival, and I hate Oklahoma.
I know.
I was very intrigued.
Too. But I like Oklahoma better than I like Carousel, even though it has "You Never Walk Alone," which is one of the best songs of all time.
Oh, so good.
So good. Shandy, in case you and anybody else out there that's unfamiliar with Broadway staging doesn't know what we're talking about, Les Miserables for decades and decades and decades infamously had a revolving stage. The stage revolved, and it was it was
very much part of just the show,
blocking and choreography, and it was like part of the thing. And to hear that may no longer be a thing. I don't know. I'm hoping that they're just doing the like pre-pandemic version.
Well, no, this was pre-pandemic. It was pre-pandemic. So it was like it went off Broadway when we were in college, and then it came back on for like a hot second, like a year and a half later, and that was basically the same exact show revolve, the whole thing. And then it came back onto Broadway, like, I don't know, 6-7 years ago at this point.
Okay.
And that version didn't have a revolve in it.
Because
it was supposed to be like, not more edgy, but like they were trying to do more. It had like the Hamill effect. Like they tried to do more of like a blind casting, and they just tried to like reimagine the
which is the version that we saw that had Daphne Rubin Vega, Mimi from Rent, in it.
Like when we were in college.
It was because she was.
That was still I feel like that was still the original run when it was doing like its final week. So it was like trying to like get people to come back to the show. Much like what Phantom of the Opera is trying to do now. They're sort of like, we're closing, everyone come back. We'll bring back all the like, people you know and love that have been involved with the show over the years. Like get that last like ticket rush before they go away.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I have to look into that.
Yeah,
I mean,
sorry if
I inherently now. What?
I ruined your indictment day. I'm sorry.
Oh, you didn't ruin my indictment day? No, I'm gonna let you know tomorrow. I will text you if there's we'll see if there's a circular stage. I feel weird moving on with the day. Anyway, okay. So, anybody else have anything exciting that happened this week?
Oh, I went to Joshua Tree.
Oh yeah, how was your Palm Springs trip?
What? Casually drops that. Oh yeah, I went to Joshua Tree. As one does.
One of my dear friends turned 40, and so some of us met up in Palm Springs, but really we were staying like more closer to Joshua Tree, and we mostly just hung out in the desert and Joshua Tree. And it was super, super fun, really good to see her. We like realized that we've now been friends for half of our lives, which is
amazing.
Yeah, it was really nice. Just, yeah. Good to see her. Good to see our other friends who came. It was really great. So just a quick trip, but it was really fun.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Amanda, we've been friends for more than half our lives.
Yeah, I know. I'm very thankful for it.
Oh, thank you. That wasn't a fishing for compliment thing. I was doing the math in my head. And I was like, wow, when you meet somebody when you're 18 and then you're 39, that's 21 years versus the 18 years you didn't know.
That's usually how math works. And I'm thankful for every goddamn one of those years.
I don't know. I'm fairly chaotic. I'm sure there's a lot of people that aren't grateful for some of the years that I've been friends with them.
No. You and I have been on a journey, and I think we're both better women for it.
Aw, thanks. Because I introduced you to Shandy.
Absolutely. That's entirely what I meant.
Yeah.
And here we are. Colleen, when did we start podcasting together? Was it 2013? 13?
Was Zach born before we
2013?
Was Zach born before or after?
He was already in existence.
So 2014.
I want to say. So it'll be 10 years next year.
Well, that's like almost a quarter of my life.
It'll be a quarter. Yeah.
I plan on living a long time, so you better too, so I can say.
And anyway,
help me with my math.
When I get to be 100, I feel like living in it, like seeing an entire century. I feel like that's pretty cool.
Depending on what's going on in the second half of.
That's fair. Like in my sort of Disney version of it, I'm excited about it.
That's very true. Oh, hey, so did you guys watch the Barbie movie trailer?
I was starting to watch it when you let us in. That's why I seemed so startled when you started talking, because I like was looking at something else on my screen and I had that going, and just I had too many things going.
Okay, so it comes out on July 21st. I was wondering if we wanted to talk about this in August.
Sure.
I don't know if there's anything that we can pair it with. Has there been other Barbie movies that I've missed somehow?
Maybe, but
Yeah, not to my knowledge.
Okay. Let's just put a pin in this, see if it's something that maybe we might be interested in talking about in general, because I am very excited. And if you get a chance, watch the trailer. I
definitely will.
it looks ridiculous.
Nice.
And
In a good
Barbie
way, I
is
assume.
inherently ridiculous, so I am very excited.
Yay.
You're talking to a woman who literally created not even worlds, but like magazines and albums, which I made mixtapes and then credited it to the Barbies that I, called the singers, and printed out pictures and clip art. Like I was
Really?
I world built my Barbies. Okay.
I had no idea.
I love it.
did.
Huh.
I did.
Nice.
Some of the stuff is definitely still at my parents' house because obviously, your kid puts that much effort into doing something. That's one of the things you keep. I'm going to be there for Easter. So I will ask my mom and I will send you guys pictures.
Nice.
I would
And if
love
those pictures,
that.
if they do exist, I will also put the pictures on our Instagram, the actual page, not the
Yes.
story, but like I had this one of the Barbie dolls. I think it was a Midge doll. And I called her Gloria Rose, and I put like a fuck ton of Mariah Carey and Celine Dion songs, and like printed out. I made an album cover and printed it out. It was a cassette tape, and put it, like cut it out, put it in there, and like it was like Gloria Rose's new album. And there was another one I did too, and I believe it was based on a Skipper doll, and I am super blanking on what I called her. But then I made tabloid magazines based on all of these people.
Holy
I
shit.
printed it out and like created stories about them.
Wow.
And oh man, I was into it.
I love this.
Yeah, that was my ultimate role playing was Barbie. Anyway,
Nice.
so that's why I'm so excited for this. Very excited.
Nice.
I'm gonna let somebody else talk now. Sorry.
I wish I had something as exciting to say.
Shandy, did you do any? I'm so sorry to interrupt your story before. Did you do anything fun in Joshua Tree?
I just went on some hikes, hung out. I did, as I was waiting for my friends to arrive, because they were all coming down from Seattle and I was coming from all the way across the country. And so I actually ended up getting them there way earlier than they did. I went to the museum in Palm Springs, and it's quite a nice little museum.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Great modern art. So that was fun.
I was going to ask if it was an art museum.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Yes, it was. So that was cool.
Nice.
That's about it. Also, just, just hung out with friends. Reveled
you
at the
don't
fact
hate your
that we've
life.
known each other through so many iterations. College, man. Yeah. I think she's like my Amanda to you, Colleen. If that makes sense. Like we were roommates in college, and yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
So she just turned 40, and then kind of like the rest of, like us, all of like the friends that are actually from 84, we're all gonna turn 40 next year. So it's kind of fun. It's kind of nice to have like this random occasion to like see people and hang out.
Yes.
That is actually.
Yes.
I super dig it.
Seriously.
Agreed.
Jay keeps saying that because I was pregnant on my 30th birthday, that for my 40th birthday, I need to like get some friends together and like we all need to do a joint thing, which our former roommate, Amanda, our former roommate, Sarah, who lives near me, we had talked about that too last time I saw her. So, but no, it would be like celebrating everybody's 40th. I don't know. Because obviously
that could also be fun. It's like a group of girlfriends. We went to Costa Rica for our 30th, and like everybody, like every day of the trip, we took turns pretending like whose birthday it was going to be that night, and we would like celebrate their birthday at dinner. Like obviously, like we were all turning 30 within the calendar year, so no one's birthday actually fell during the vacation. But you just sort of like everybody got a night, and it was like okay, and we went in order of like okay, so like it would be
chronological.
Like, chronological. So like okay, so I guess Wednesday night will be Amanda's turn, and and it was very fun.
That's cool.
So you could do something like that. That could be an option.
That's what I want to do.
I like it.
That's basically what I want to do. I keep saying I have a year to plan it, but let's be honest, I don't.
Not anymore.
I gotta get out
April.
Holy crap!
Yeah, already April.
Already April. I can't believe it.
We're gonna call this Arraignment April.
Arraignment.
April showers. Right? Arraignment. April showers.
April showers.
April showers bring conviction? I don't know. We can workshop it.
We got till December 4th. We can workshop this.
I mean, hopefully something else will come through before then. Just saying.
Just
crossed.
Just throw that out there to the universe.
Yep.
Exactly. All right. Let's move on to the feedback, since generally when we have a couple of weeks off, we talk a lot to catch up or whatever. And we don't always have that middle section, but I'm going to call the Trump talk our middle section that we just did at the beginning.
Yes.
However, April 18th, we will be recording Everything Everywhere All at Once. Whole episode, one movie. Super excited. Love that movie. Can't wait to watch it. And I hope that you will send us your feedback about it. The broadcasters3@gmail.com, or give us a call 331-276-2373.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Ooh.
I thought that it was supposed to be playing on my airplane on the way back. And I was like, this is perfect. Once again, I'll just do my homework in the airplane. And then it wasn't on that particular flight. I was very disappointed.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah. Would have been such a good, use of time.
But I feel like it's a movie that, like, you don't want to be limited to that teeny tiny little airplane.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll watch it before the 18th.
Yes, there we are. Yeah. All right. Well, let's take a quick break and then we'll get into the feedback. All right. We are back. We're ready to get into some feedback. Jessica said, raise your hand if you are not indicted on 34 felonies today. She raises 2 hands emoji. And today, I mean Tuesday, not Friday. But if any of you commits 34 felonies by Friday, I will eat my hat. And happy arraignment day, Jessica. It's arraigning ex-presidents. Rose says, clearly kids are still not getting the stay out of storm drains memo. At least they have cell phones now. And she links to an article that says the NYPD had to rescue 5 children from a storm drain in Staten Island. And there's a picture.
Oh, good Lord.
I've been in storm drains that start like that, actually. 5 children between the ages of 11 and 12 called 911 after entering a storm drain and becoming lost. That's another thing. If you're going to go into a storm drain, pro tip, bring a helmet or bring one of the headlights. You can get them from Walmart for under $10.
But I just don't understand.
I have 2 sets myself.
Storm drains, like I wasn't visualizing storm drains to be this ginormous. Like, isn't it?
Well, that's probably why they went in there, because it was a bigger one, and that's actually a small one. I've been in ones that's a middle-sized one. I've been in ones where you've had to crawl like on your hands and feet and avoid the black widows, and I've been in ones where you could just walk without even having to duck your head. I have knee pads and a helmet.
See, when I think of a storm drain, I think of something that has like a grill over it, and it's like under.
That's where they come out of.
Like,
right. The tunnel in that picture.
Yeah.
It's like a raccoon could go down there, but a human not so easily.
The tunnel in that picture is where those things come out to.
Where the hell is that?
Well, generally they're on like
nowhere sort of space.
Yeah, like there's maps like that your city will have that will show like the sewage system and all that. Well, we use those to figure out entry points because
next time you want to go rummaging around in a sewer, better come prepared.
All right.
Just saying, if you want to go into a venture in a sewer, either of you, there's one that you can walk through that we need a ladder. My friends and I went in. We didn't have a ladder, so what we had to do was we had to come back to it. You can walk through it to the ladder point. I hear it's pretty easy. If you want to, I will arrange it with my friends to go in that sewer again, and you can come and you can see what a very easy, tame one is all about. I will even provide the headlamps. No knee pads needed.
I appreciate the offer, but I
just
think
gloves.
I'll pass.
Just gloves.
Okay.
I imagine it leads
serious
to
consideration.
It leads to other, you know,
Systems.
I thought it was much smaller.
They are smaller or they're bigger. Like that's a medium-sized one. Look, in the first episode of Ted Lasso this season, they actually go into a sewer, and that's a really fucking nice one. I have only been in one or two that look like that, and they don't look like that. Like that's a really nice one. That's the one that is,
Well, that's a London sewer, so it's a skosh different.
Exactly.
I mean, are we talking like actually down in the sewer, like underneath the manhole?
Yeah.
Like that I can picture, but just this giant
that leads
opening.
When you go into that opening, you walk down a system, and you'll have, choices this way, that way, straight. If you're lucky, it's a straight shot. Generally, they're not. And you'll eventually above come, and if you're walking there for a while, you'll come to several ones. You'll come to the grates that people walk over, drive over. You'll come to the manhole covers with the little ladders and like all that stuff is part of the system. It's all part
I guess
of the
I'm just picturing like what you see on your sidewalk. Like in your street.
Yeah, that's one entrance. If you think of a sewer as like a maze.
Yeah.
No, I guess I visited the sewer system in Paris as part of an environmental science class. That was
seems
very
fun.
Big. It was very big. Yeah.
I bet you the old school, because the ones in Raleigh that are older, that are like stone and brick underneath, are so nice. And you can always tell which ones are like the ones where people cared and weren't just trying to like get rich quick versus the like newer ones. But like that doesn't surprise me that the Ted Lasso London one and the one in Paris are bigger and nicer.
And you can tour them, so
exactly. I am dying to go into a New York City one, but I'm also not dying because I know how many rats are there. Just saying.
The rats are everywhere. It's real.
They're everywhere, though.
It's a real problem.
And the whole thing is, exactly. Like, animals are more scared of you than you are of them.
But
blah,
if
blah,
this
blah,
is this. Okay, wait. It's a storm. Is a storm drain different than a sewer? Because the sewage can't come out in a giant.
The storm drain. Okay.
That's just for the water. Yeah.
Okay. So the storm drain is generally the output from the sewers.
I mean, I guess it gets treated and then they release only the stuff that can be released. Is that correct? Because you can't just output a bunch of shit.
Yes, you can.
So that begs the question, why are you walking around in sewage?
Because we're looking for geocaches.
What asshole puts a geocache in a bunch of raw sewage?
It's a thing. People do it.
That's terrible.
But it's not raw sewage. You're just going into the storm drains and things just come out. Now, generally, the only things you're going to find in the actual drains are like spiders and crawdads and, smelly things in general. The sewage comes out at that entry point. So in the picture that you're looking at, the sewage would come out and fall on the outside of that.
That's horrific. How is that sanitary? How is that okay for the environment?
I don't know. I feel like we need to get an expert in on this. I feel like I have follow-up questions that I don't think we can answer here today.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, I'm not an expert, but from my experience, the sewer system in North Carolina, at least, and I'm going to expect that it's probably the rest of the world, you have your grates and you have your like manhole covers and like all of that stuff. The rain and whatever else is in the street flows into that. There are pipes and systems underground, and they come out into areas because they don't just stay there. They have to come out. What goes in must come out.
Well, that's fine for like rainwater.
Yes, but that's why littering is so bad. That's why people are like, try to clean up trash.
Sure, but I'm talking about shit. Like when I go and take a fucking shit.
Oh, that's totally different.
Okay, good.
Different pipes.
Good.
Different system.
Because I was thinking I was thinking we were saying that all of this comes out.
No.
Like where you like this.
That's kind of where I was going with this too. I was like, this can't be right.
No, we wouldn't walk through shit. No, that's something totally different.
Kelly's very proud of this. I feel like I am very much missing something.
I would have told you guys if I was walking through shit like years ago.
Okay.
No. It's not. We did once questionably walk through some stuff. There was a goldfish that was in it. It was like waist high. And we were like, oh, this is alarming. It was underneath the Crabtree Valley Mall. I'm like, this is very alarming. There's a goldfish here. Does that mean that we're walking in sewer? Thankfully, we were not there for very long. But that's the only time that I've ever been someplace where I've been like, this is questionable.
But you have the waders, right?
I have the waders. I have the chest waders. I have the knee waders. I got all the waders.
Okay.
Okay.
Whew.
All right.
Okay. Thanks,
Good.
Ro.
Yes, we went on a journey.
Wow. That's yeah.
That was not a thing that I thought that I was going to be confessing to you today. Yeah, no. The poop stuff goes someplace different.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Good.
Let's see. Matt, some Matt recommendations from Matt Lives TV. I recently got around to checking out Paris is Burning because of all the anti-trans and drag stuff going on lately. It's a fascinating time capsule of ballroom culture in New York in the 80s. Pretty much the same basis for Pose. It's on the Criterion channel and HBO Max. He checked out Daisy and the Six on Amazon. A miniseries of the book I recommended a while back. See the Broadcast Book Club. While I'm in that cliched the book was better group, the miniseries was really well made. It's a mocudrama about a Fleetwood Mac-esque band's meteoric rise and collapse that translates really well with the Stevie Nicks, Lindsey Buckingham stand-ins, which is Riley Keough and Sam Claflin. They're just being electric whenever they're on screen together. Plus, the songs have been playing in my head ever since, and I'm 2 episodes into Yellow Jackets season 2, and whoa. I am trying to, even though I accidentally bought a year of Showtime.
Oh, right.
I am trying to hold out Yellow Jackets as much as I can to binge. Did either of you watch Daisy Jones and the Six? My sister watched it and loved it.
I have not.
No.
Yeah. So she's read the book and loved the book. So last I heard, she really loved the miniseries too.
Cool.
I will add it to the ever-growing list.
Yes. Thanks, Matt.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have 2 emails, and then we have a Master She Said, and we'll call it a day. The first email is from John, the UPS guy.
And it's titled Pooping at Work.
My favorite topic.
And he writes in, "Hey broads, your last episode got me thinking about pooping at work, so I figured I'd chime in here. I somehow made it 32 years at UPS without pooping in the UPS building." Wow.
It's impressive.
That's actually incredible. Are you a nighttime pooper or like a first thing when you wake up pooper like Trump? Or he didn't even get a gag order today, which is fucking wild. I would have given him a gag order so hard.
Oh, I know.
And then be like, watch you violate it 3 times, bitch, and then have to go to jail. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah,
Oh my God,
it's not worth their time. They're like, whatever.
John continues, "The bathrooms / locker rooms were always disgusting and rarely cleaned." Oh. It wasn't until COVID hit that UPS finally started cleaning the bathrooms every day. Oh, well, I guess COVID was good for something. Anyway, it was rare, about once a year.
Sorry. I didn't expect anybody to say, I guess COVID was good. Anyway, sorry. Okay, I'll be quiet. Now I'm going to mute myself.
Anyway, it was rare, about once a year. I would have to go number 2 en route. My route was a downtown commercial one, so I had a restroom on each block picked out for such an occasion.
Smart.
Nice. It was always an isolated one, so no one would end up seeing me enter or leave. Similarly, if I had to use a restroom to pee, I would just use the quote-unquote main restroom in a building until they were larger. Usually they were larger in size, but it always seemed when people ran into me in there, it was like a celebrity sighting or guys were surprised the UPS guy pees. I could see that. On another note, I was a union shop steward for almost 20 years in our center.
Wow.
Unions. My first case was a driver had been ridden with a previous day, and the manager and supervisor wanted to talk about the driver using the restroom on his route. they felt that if he were to go number 1, it was okay on company time. But if he had to go number 2, it would have to be on personal time.
Wait, what the fuck?
That's not how it works.
This is why we need unions.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
I remember sitting there thinking to myself, I became a steward to talk about number 1 and number 2? WTF?
Welcome to union life.
Yeah, right.
Just kidding.
I stopped the manager from going on any further and told him he'll shit anytime he needs to. It's the law. Don't waste my time.
Yes. Why are we talking about this? Next subject.
Don't waste my time with this bullshit in the future.
Imagine being that fucking
Seriously.
tight ass that if
Yeah,
somebody
seriously.
has to poop,
It literally
you can
tight
poop
ass.
quickly. Like,
Yeah,
you
seriously.
know,
Also,
not like-
it's like you get everyone poops. There's literally a book about it. Everyone
Right.
fucking poops.
So you're literally going to make someone hold it for their entire
Yeah.
shift? Like,
Yeah.
that's...
And like shit themselves. Yeah.
Right.
Because that's great.
Mhm.
It never came up after that day again. And for the rest of my time as our center steward, each new manager that came in told me, I'm told I'm not to waste your time with bullshit.
Yes.
literally.
Yes.
Literally.
Amazing that sticking up for someone's right to poop framed my level of tolerance with stupidity in dealing with management for years to come. Anyway, loved the show as always, and happy pooping to everyone out there. From John, the retired guy.
Oh, that was great.
Yay!
Yes.
I told a pooping story earlier. It didn't have a happy ending, and then it did.
It's a real roller coaster ride.
Yes, and then we all imagined walking through some poop, and then it's been another
that's
poop.
right. You guys did. I
We
did not
did.
get what you were
We went
putting
on
down.
a different journey.
We went on
but,
separate,
yeah.
not equal journeys.
Exactly. It is wild. Who gives a shit if somebody's pooping at work? Are they sitting there and playing games for an hour? Like, I could see that where you're like,
Yeah.
whatever, but like, come on. That is
I mean, again, like,
crazy.
this is why we need unions. It's for the bigger stuff, but also for the little bullshit. Because if an employer tries to pull that kind of crazy, like, quote unquote,
Yes!
little bullshit
What
on
else
you,
are they gonna-
then like, what else exactly?
Right.
That's insane.
Like, imagine being that fucking nuts and
Uh-huh.
greedy that you're
Uh-huh.
like, I don't want to pay my employee for 5 minutes of shitting.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But you're ugh,
Yep.
dumb,
Yep.
lame.
Yep. No bueno.
No bueno. Exactly. Thank you
Yep.
for that email.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you.
We have an email from Andy, and then we'll finish up with the Master She Said.
Okay, this past week in Andy's virginity. Hey, broads, been a while and not a whole lot to report. Coworker is still there. That's good news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, John the UPS guy, former guy, his employer would have a fucking field day with Andy's
Oh
coworker.
my god. Oh
I
my
know.
god.
Oh my god, I can't even imagine.
Anyway, sorry.
Oh my gosh. I've been more active in showing her stuff while also showing our new supervisor the ropes because holy shit, things are a mess when I'm out. She's doing all right, but occasionally I still hear some snoring from her desk. She said something about having a second job, and considering her age and health issues, I get why she might be a little sleepy. So long as stuff gets taken care of, I'm okay. Not much going on dating wise for me, at least. There have been some people in my family who've gotten married recently, but thankfully I haven't felt any spikes in loneliness since then. Well, that's
Well,
good.
that's good.
That's good. We all know I'd like to find someone, but right now it's not happening. I'll just keep on going and we'll see who I meet from there. Also, thankfully, the when are you getting married talk is practically non-existent. Hashtag I'm with hers, Andy. Well, that's
All
good
right.
because that like when are you getting married talk is just like really annoying and unnecessary. So I'm glad for that at least.
Yeah.
Same. That's the same as like the when are you having kids talk. It's like, come
Right.
on,
Mhm.
people. Like, why do you need to be so nosy,
Yeah.
Right.
offensive.
Can't you think of anything more clever to ask me?
Uh-huh.
Like,
Yep.
does your life change
Yeah.
if somebody gets married or not? As the great Jack Glatfelter always asked, does it change the cost of beer?
Because really, that's what it all comes down
That is
to. I like
fantastic.
that.
I have never heard him say that before. I feel cheated. I feel gypped at life. That is amazing.
So Jay always says it now, but he always prefaces it with, as my dad always said growing up, does it change the price of beer? I'm like, oh my God, that's so funny.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it turns out inflation did, but
Yeah. Well,
actually, the beer that I always get is stay the same price. So knock on wood with that one.
good on you.
Nice. Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
It's the one that you drank, Shandy, at during the show, where I
That
said,
was good,
that's
yeah.
my go-to.
Purple.
So I have a beer that's a go-to. It's a local brewery, and I know I can always find it anywhere. So
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, good times.
Very cool.
All right, well, Andy, thank you so much. And then let's close out with a Math What She Said.
I did it right before we came back from Germany.
I think he really likes it. It's exciting. It's really cool.
He wasn't even thinking about that as a thing that was going to happen. And I think he's really enjoying it.
It's going to get you far in this world. Keep on doing it.
Hey, it's better than being arrested.
Oh, I was hoping to do it further into the season.
This dude sucks so fucking hard.
Usually people don't start sucking really hard overnight. You're welcome, Matt.
I really wanted a Samantha.
I'm impressed you made it that long.
It was on the bottom, not the top. So everything I put in had to go upside down.
Glad we ended on that.
It's an action-packed 10 minutes.
It's a long 10 minutes for me, but I'm sure it's a short 10 minutes for you guys.
I'm barely holding it for 10 minutes.
What are we talking about?
I don't know.
It should be on the right one.
I'm not making it today, but I will make it tomorrow if you want me to.
Be lucky you got this.
This is not going to last long.
When I saw it, I got an itch.
This one is special to my heart because I recently did this.
It feels like a very solo journey.
Mm.
Those two go hand in hand. That's what
Yeah.
she said.
I've heard it. I've never tried it.
They just don't like it in New York. I haven't tested it anywhere else.
Please fill us in.
But only for 10 minutes.
But only for
Only
10
for 10
minutes.
minutes.
You can't hold it any longer.
Yeah, we've got a limit. We have a hard out, no offense.
Hard out.
Soft out, hard out.
I guess it depends.
It can go either way.
You go either way.
Oh my goodness.
Depends
All
if it's been 10 minutes or 11.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you all for listening. Next week we'll be back with a regular episode. In 2 weeks on April 18th, we will be recording an episode dedicated to everything, everywhere, all at once. We would love your feedback. Broadcasters3@gmail.com or 331-276-2373. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. Thanks for listening. If you have any feedback again that you've about this episode, woohoo! Good times. All right. Yes. Let me know. I want to know what everybody else thinks about the Barbie movie. I'm very excited about the Barbie movie. I'm just saying. But yeah, on that note, thanks for listening. If you want to become a patron, you can go to patreon.com/JandJack. And thank you to the patrons that contribute to a certain level, and that would be Eckhart Rickner, Maggie the Magnificent, Joanne with a Plan, and Ed the Creepy Poopy Head Mailman. We appreciate it. And yeah, we'll talk to everybody next week. Any last thoughts? Any last words?
No.
All right. On that note, my name is Colleen.
My name is Amanda.
And I'm Shandy.
Peace out, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.